Hey guys, so I'm back with another video, and this video is pertaining to 9/11/2001. I'm giving you a perspective and my thoughts and my view of what happened on that day, coming from the time when I was young. I was 14, and I was at the beginning of my last year at my elementary school at number 34, and everything seemed well. Went to school. I think it was either the second or the third day um, of the school day. Went to homeroom. Everything was cool. I remember it being nice, and back then I didn't like to wear no jacket, and that day was perfect. I didn't have to wear nothing except for the uniform that I had. So the Pledge of Allegiance is done, or the announcements is done. And a few minutes later, the principal gets back on the intercom, and she just blurts out some stuff that I really couldn't understand, or anybody else could have understand. Until this day, I still couldn't understand what she said, and we was trying to make out what she was talking about, but we knew that something had happened by the tone of her voice. And so, making a long story short, one of the teachers came into the classroom and spoken to my teacher privately. And after she left, my teacher had told us that the World Trade Center has been hit by a plane. So we're all in confusion and didn't know what to expect or what happened or what was the motive. We thought it was an accident. And from our third floor classroom, we couldn't see it because we had a front view of everything that was in front. It was Greenville Hospital across the street, and you can see the library to our right. So it was time to switch periods, and at that time it was called periods. Back in elementary school, it wasn't called blocks like it is now. So in my language arts class, I had the perfect view. My seat was next to the window. I was enjoying it because every morning I will go and check out the New York skyscraper. I've never been to New York that I remember, and even though I live in Jersey City, I'm like minutes away from it. Never been to it, and I never been to the World Trade Center. So every day I would look at the buildings, and I'm like, I want to go there one day. And it was just perfect. You could see everything. But that day we saw the buildings. Well, one of them smoking, and everybody was near the window. And like I said, we thought it was an accident. Then a few minutes later, my vision was good back then, but at this time, I saw an explosion hit the South Tower, and it was like, wow, you thought a movie or something was going on down there. I don't know what had happened, but we didn't know. I didn't know what caused the explosion. But soon after, we had to go back to our seats. The teacher pulled down the shade. He turned on the TV, and CNN was on, doing the news coverage, and we could see everything. They replayed a few minutes back of when the second plane that hit the second building, and we all knew that that was not no accident. We knew that something was going on, that we was in trouble, and we thought that we was next. We were scared. We didn't know what to do. And most of all, we were scared for the people that was in New York that was going through it. Because seeing it on TV was like, it was so much emotions during that day. And once we knew that it wasn't an accident, truly it wasn't an accident, because the Pentagon had been hit. Flight 93 had went down in Pennsylvania. So it was all this stuff going on, and we think that we're going to be next. We in this building, and all these planes is going to come. This going to hit us as well and hit other cities. So I'm like, okay, I'm not even too sure what to do at the moment. But I knew that some of my classmates and some of the students within the school was slowly dissipating. They was going home because the parents was coming to get them. And I'm wondering, I'm like, well, okay, where's my mom? Where is she? I was 2 blocks away. I lived 2 blocks away from the school, but apparently she was watching the news, and at that time the school was like locked down. It was no one can go out or anything. So I'm watching it in fear. I'm watching the TV in fear, and I'm like, what is going on? Truly, what is going on? So a few minutes afterwards, we see the second building falling. It fell. I couldn't see from out the window, but I only saw it on TV. It was falling, and I'm just like basically holding back every emotion that's possible. And a few minutes later, a while later, the first building had fell, and we all went to the window. The ones that was left in the classroom, we went to the window and just saw half of New York just up in smoke and ashes. And I knew at that point that something tragic, a lot of lives was gone, because I'm pretty sure there was people inside that building. And now that I know from watching NBC and watching the documentaries that there were people still inside the building. They couldn't get out of it because the elevators was, knocked out. The fire and the damage caused the stairwells to be, blocked, so they couldn't get out. And I was praying to God that there was going to be okay. And at that time, I was 14, as I said. I was into Power Rangers. I was into superheroes. I'm still into superheroes, but not as much as Power Rangers. So I'm thinking, well, if I can just have this one wish, to really help somebody, I can just fly over the Hudson River, bring my good old friends Storm to get a good old, you know, rainstorm and just pour all the water, or just get, I don't know, it was just a lot going through my mind. What if someone had the power to really go up to the building and just put water in there to take the fire out, or had some type of psychic person to warn everybody beforehand before going to work that day. And you feel bad because you don't know how to help people. You feel bad for the ones that lost lives. What if that had happened to me? I not lost my mom or dad or a relative or friend in the World Trade Center. I don't know how I would react. I probably would lose my mind. You know, I really still feel bad about what happened 10 years ago, and it's still unbelievable that the years went so fast. Being 24 now, it really shows that you got a lot to be thankful for. You got a lot to really take in considerations. You see a lot of stuff going on overseas, and you never think that it will travel over here and affect you in a way. You never would have think that, oh, you will see buildings falling, bombs going off, planes, what, you never would think that. But it happened, and it caused a lot of lives from both sides to be lost. And even with Osama bin Laden gone, it still does not change what happened on that day. It hasn't changed at all. But now with the view of the World Trade Center up and coming, whether it's from the exchange place or being there itself, coming from the train station, it's coming back to life. It's real nice down there, and I can't wait for it to be finished. So hopefully, when the holiday, you know, go by, probably Monday night, since I'm on vacation, hopefully if the lights are still on, I can go to Exchange Place and take some photos, you know, and put it in my blog as well. But I thank you for viewing this and getting my viewpoint of, you know, my own feelings and my words of what happened on the day 9/11/2001. Thank you and God bless.